major key 3-string boogie. Howdy folks, Bluesboy Jag here, 3-string cigar box guitar lesson. This is a major key boogie. So this could be considered maybe a John Lee Hooker style boogie. Not quite sure, maybe even a country kind of a thing. I just picked up my cigar box guitar and it popped out, so I thought I'd do a little lesson on this one. We're tuned to open G on this one, A string, tuned down to G. D string tuned normal to D. And your first string is another G string tuned normal to G. A string tuned down to G. D string tuned normal to D. And a third string tuned normal to G. Alright, so I'm going to start out here on the 7th fret with my first finger. Third finger is going to be on the 9th fret, and I'm going to do a hammer on. So I'm starting on that middle string. First finger is going to be on that middle string, 2nd string, on the 7th fret. Now I'm going to hammer with my 3rd finger. So first finger goes down, and I'm hammering with that 3rd finger 2 frets up, strumming all 3 strings. And I'm doing an up strum with my first finger on 1/7. So my hand's going to be doing an up-down strum, or down-up, however you want to look at it. Real slow. So that's the first half. Now I'm just going to add so there's 2 parts to it. Here's the first part. One more time. First half. And the second half. So I'm really just moving back and forth between the 2nd string and the 1st string. Notice how I jump over to that 2nd string This is what I would consider the second part of the riff. Here's the first part. And the second part. And if you put them all together and speed it up a bit, so I'm considering that part down here, the first part, and up here, and this is very similar. I'm just using that first finger on the second string, 12th fret, going up to the 14th. And then toggling over here to the first string on the 12th fret. I'm strumming all three strings throughout the entire song. And we do the same thing up here, well, almost the same thing, slightly different. Second finger, second string, first finger. There's just all sorts of permutations on this that you can use. I like to jump back and forth. So if you want to go up to your first string and jump back down to your second, you can do that. All sorts of different cool things you can do with this. Notice how I went from the first string on the 12th fret to the second string to 0. So it's really just a kind of a boogie thing. But it's in a major key, not a minor key. So it's sort of a John Lee Hooker major key. Also, it's kind of a country-ish thing, maybe, because it's in a major key. I don't know. So let's extrapolate on this just a bit. We're going to jump around on the fretboard doing the same two riffs. Here's the first riff. And here's the second. We're going to go up here. So we're going to kind of jump back and forth, and we're going to go down here, let's just say to the 3rd fret. That's definitely a minor key down here. So I'm going back and forth between the minor key and the major key. So I'm just jumping between a minor chord and a major chord. And if we go up here, we're back to major. So you can definitely hear the difference if I go down here to the 3rd and 5th fret. If I start here, it's a major key, or I should say major chord. If I go down here, that's a minor. experiment with that. Go down to, let's say, the 2nd fret. I'm playing that same lick in various locations on the fretboard. You can tell how some of those locations are maybe not the right key because I'm jumping from major to minor, which is a little weird. But the whole point of this is just to jump around, come up with a nice, simple, easy to remember riff. And just move it around. Now at first, this sounds a little weird, right? You've got some dissonance in there. But now, I'm going back to the major chord, or major key. So that's a little weird, but kind of cool, right? Now let's go to the 3rd string. I'm going to do the same thing and move it up and see what we get here. I'm going to start out with the 2nd and 4th fret. Jump into the 1st string, which is the same note, 2 octaves up above the low G. Now I can jump to the middle string. I mean, there's just all sorts of different things you can do with it. And this sounds kind of weird. This sounds a little bit better to me. The cool thing is, these outside 2 strings are both G, so you can play literally the same riff twice, but do one of them on the 1st string and one of them on the 3rd string. So, that's the 1st string, right there. Now I can do the exact same riff, but do it on the 3rd string for the ending part of it. It's exactly the same notes, just an octave lower. So let's boogie with that for a minute here. Again, 1st finger is going to be on the 7th, 3rd finger is going to be 2 frets up on the 9. Whoops. That riff is identical, except the 2nd time around, I'm using that 3rd string, which is an octave lower than the 1st. Other than that, the notes are identical. Now you can jump to the 3rd string right in the middle of your riff. So instead of doing the whole riff using that 1st string, I can do half of a riff using that one, and then the other half using the other 3rd, an octave lower. Are you totally confused now? So here's an example. 1st string. I'm hammering on the 1st string. I can do the exact same hammer on the 3rd string, same frets, same everything, and it's an octave lower. Right? It's just flipping it around. So now I have a low G string and a high. So it's really the same riff over and over and over. Now let's randomly jump up and down the fretboard here just to see what we get. I'm going to do the same riff on 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't know, maybe 7. Let's go up to, let's say, 3 and 5. That's a little weird with that first one. Now we go up to 5 and 7. That's a little weird, but doable. Doesn't sound too dissonant. And of course, where we started out, I'm playing different notes than the beginning of this lesson, but I'm at the same spot here, 7 and 9. Using 2 fingers to fret here. 3rd finger on the 2nd string, and I'm going to be on the 9th fret, and 1st finger is going to be on 1/7. Not using my thumb at all. Looks like I am, but I'm not. Hey, let's try that though. Why not? Interestingly enough, those notes are identical. So the 3rd string and the middle are the same. So it's just kind of a bigger note, louder note. But the idea is just you can move around with your fingers, move around with your frets, jump up and down. Well, not literally jump up and down the fretboard. Lots of drones going on. What's a drone? Open string. So experiment with that and have some fun with it. If you do the major key, you're going to be on 2 and 4. Now if we go up, that one doesn't work too good. That's going to be your 4th fret and your 6th fret. But back up to the 5th fret with your 1st finger and the 7th with your 3rd. That works. The next one doesn't work, but the next one does, 7 and 9. So experiment. See what works. I kind of like that. I'm on 10 and 12. So let's go up here. 1st finger on 12 and 3rd finger on 14. Then I'm going to jump down to 10 and 12. You get the idea. So mess around with that, have some fun with it. Be sure and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. Be sure and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check out my brand new website, bluesboyjag.com. Cigar box guitars for 20 years. We'll see you next time.